Hello everyone, and welcome to a show that will hopefully have more episodes than Masked Rider. This is the Ghetto Ranger Review, a Power Ranger review show. The goal being to review the entire series beginning to end, but just like in real life, we might not hit those goals and move on to something else. Hopefully I can get through enough episodes to at least cover a couple seasons. But today is the original pilot episode that started it all, Day of the Dumpster. Immediately we open on a planet where astronauts find and open what they describe as a dumpster. By opening this space dumpster, they unleash our villains. The Empress of Evil, Rita Repulsa, her muscle Goldar, her inventor and monster maker Finster, and can't forget her very own comic relief duo, Squat and Babu. Not only can our villains breathe on this planet, but there also appears to be water, as Rita quips,
"Oh, you made me step in a puddle, you nitwit!"
Okay, so I'm no scientist or anything, but I'm pretty sure if there was water on this planet, there'd be other life as well. Well, maybe this is just a desert or whatever. Rita says to the astronauts that they're gonna miss her coming out party, where she's gonna destroy the nearest planet. Is Rita gay? I know that's not what she meant here, but you only hear that expression used in one context. We then cut to our first look at Ernie's gym and juice bar. We also hear someone on the radio shout out the juice bar. Man, this place must be wicked popular. We see our soon-to-be heroes practicing their respective sports. Kim, gymnastics, Jason and Zach, karate, training in what appears to be Tai Chi, and everyone finishes up as Billy arrives for his first karate class. Zach even has karate pants, that's how you know he likes karate. I would like to say that it's nice being shown the Rangers doing stuff instead of just being told things. It's simple, but considering how the Rangers look in the pilot, this is much better. This is the glorious moment when we first meet Bulk and Skull. These two gentlemen are my generation's Abbott and Costello, or Three Stooges even. Well, Two Stooges I guess. They ask Kim and Trini about a date, and Trini actually gives them a very polite,
"Sorry guys."
Bulk gets defensive and Kim tells them to back off. For some reason Bulk decides to get tough, and even threatens them with,
"Let's show him some karate moves."
They both take a bump for the troubles. We all laugh, and Kim tells them they should join Jason's karate class. We see Rita is somehow on the moon in her fortress. I have a few questions about her fortress, but I'll save that for the end. She commands for some putties to attack the Earth. Back at the juice bar, we see that Billy's having some difficulties with karate katas. Jason asks the class what skills karate helps people develop, and Billy basically reads out of a handbook listing generic traits like kindness, loyalty, and discipline.
I memorized that very quickly, Billy.
Bulk and Skull interrupt the class, asking to be taught how to beat people up, wearing their own takes on martial arts uniforms. Skull having what appears to be a kung fu top and bowler hat, and Bulk has a gi with a jean vest over top. Jason tells us that martial arts were not created to hurt others, but Bulk says he did not sign up for some geeky karate class. Jason then tempts him into attempting some
advanced training techniques.
This scene with Bulk and Jason is pretty good, with Skull clapping when Bulk performs. This is the perfect mix of making Jason look cool and in control, while also getting some decent comedy out of the duo. The team comforts Billy on his first stage jitters. Ernie asks who ordered the spinach juice, and an earthquake hits. Bulk getting hit by the juice as people run from the juice bar. Skull actually grabs one of the drinks. As we get shots of people running random places, we see that the Rangers have not moved at all. Why wouldn't you be running like everyone else? Cut to the command center where we see Alpha 5 hugging his teddy bear. Zordon says to teleport to him,
5 overbearing and over-emotional humans.
No! Not that! Not teenagers!
And with 2 button presses, Alpha appears to grab our heroes at complete random. 2 buttons? That's it? What if we hit the wrong last button? This reminds me of that one time Captain Picard punches in 2 buttons and plays HMS Pinafore. The team have finally started getting out of the building when for some reason they decide that I'm just going to stand right here for a bit. I guess the teleportation took longer because the earthquake was moving the Rangers around and it was harder for the teleporter to safely grab them. The team crash lands in the command center and they instantly start checking it out. Billy for some reason starts touching all the buttons and stuff. He should be the one person here that should know better. He is the science guy. Also, if you have the power with 2 buttons to randomly grab 5 teenagers and teleport them to you, what are the chances Billy accidentally caused like a major accident by hitting so many of them so quickly?
Well, maybe the answer's in these controls.
Here's when we get to see Alpha 5 come out and fall immediately on his face. Also, he still has hockey glove hands. After seeing a walking, talking robot, Zordon appears, and the Rangers no-sell everything by asking,
So who are you?
the real question is, why haven't I pooped my pants? Not only from seeing 1, teleportation, which I would assume would be a pretty life-changing event, 2, seeing a walking, talking robot, and 3, seeing a freaking giant-ass floating head in a tube. Zordon introduces himself as an interdimensional being caught in a time warp, and his robot friend is Alpha 5. Zordon explains that the planet is under attack, and he picked them to protect it. The kids laugh it off, so he shows the teens our villains on the viewing globe. What happened to the projector? Oh wait, that was Zoltar, never mind. He goes on to explain that they will be getting extraordinary powers from the dinosaur to save the planet. Why dinosaurs? Like, I know they're limited to the Sentai, but it's just an odd place to get powers from. He gives them all morphers, and we don't get the Animorph style animation anymore. We instead get a wipe effect, showing off the costume and the Zords. Zordon does throw in some character traits in the sequence, which I guess fits, but considering earlier in the episode they actually showed us these traits, it's kind of lazy to tell us this now. Or maybe Zordon's just confirming that for us anyways, whatever. Zack and Kim somehow convince a group of teens to leave a super special hideout fortress that has a magic floating head and a talking robot telling them they're special. Right. Well, I do kind of believe that Zack would be the type of person to think,
Hey guys, you don't even know what you're talking about. We were talking to a giant floating head.
As we see the Rangers leaving, we get close-up shots of the command center, aka the House of the Book. Rita is aware what Zordon is up to somehow and demands for some putties, and we get a decent look at Finster's Monster Maker. I love this machine, especially as a kid, but I'll save that for when we get a better look at it. Rita attacks the Rangers, and at least this time, when the putties show up, the Rangers seem at first scared. Kim is immediately grabbed as the rest of the team do what they can to defend themselves, but the putties outclass the Rangers, throwing them into a pile. This is not a great fight, but it does get over the fact that the Rangers cannot stand up to the putties. The teams decide to try morphing, and we get a much updated roll call.
Zordon said these power morphers to give us power. Let's do it!
Zordon immediately sends them to downtown Angel Grove to fight Goldar and a squad of putties. We see the same fight from the pilot, but this time with action sounds from our actors. Rita makes Goldar grow, and the Rangers are all of a sudden on board for this being a superhero thing, and they call for dinosaur power. The Zords appear in footage we will be seeing 1,000 times over, but at the same time still enjoyable in small bits. The team for some reason just instinctively know that they can jump hundreds of feet into their Zords. Also, how do they know how to drive the Zords? Maybe the morphing grid has some psychic ability to transfer knowledge. Or just you join with the morphing grid and you gain the knowledge instinctively that way.
Ranger, this is amazing! I get to know how to drive this thing!
Affirmative, I do too. It's almost like second nature to me.
In tank mode, they hit Goldar once with the cannons, but the second attack they use laser eyes. This always confuses me because you're a tank. Why would you also need laser eyes? But the Rangers initiate Megazord sequence. The theme hits as the Megazord completes and our first Zord fight begins. It's awesome seeing Goldar in the classic Megazord battle. They both move around pretty quickly. Goldar delivers a huge dropkick and tries to take control of the fight, but the Rangers call for the Power Sword and Goldar leaves literally the second it arrives. He does have his own sword, and he was using it the whole time. Why run? Did you know that the finishing move was with the sword? Zordon compliments the Rangers on a job well done. He then commands them to follow the 3 rules.
First, never use your power for personal gain. Second, never escalate a battle unless Rita forces you. And finally, keep your identity secret.
The teens are nervous at first, but after a quick speech from Zordon, they decide that they're on board. The psych joke gets upgraded to a not joke, and this one hurts Alpha 5, and he even starts smoking. We get the Rangers hand jump thing again, and credits. Overall, this is a fantastic way to start a show. The Rangers come off as much nicer people compared to the pilot. Apparently they actually had to reshoot some of the Bulk and Skull stuff because people found it too mean and violent. What, did the Rangers beat the crap out of Bulk and Skull? You can see elements of this. The team can be quite mean at times. The Zordon Alpha and the Command Center look much better. It still looks cheesy, but it's charming. Honestly, I always thought Rita's dumpster was on the moon, but in the opening shot we can see the shuttle is traveling past what appears to be a moon, and in this shot we can see the Earth and her moon in the background. What planet is this? Does anybody ever mention it again? Another thing about Rita, where did she get her fortress from? Was it hers before she got trapped? Is it someone else's? The Ranger Wiki says it's an ancient moon palace. I wonder whose it was though. All the major elements are introduced. The villains, the powers, we learned a bit about the team, and we even established a comedy relief. The putty fight, not good, is still streets ahead of the pilot fight, and even puts over the Rangers' weaknesses. The Zord battle, while short, is still awesome enough to keep us wanting more. Things seem like they're falling into place. Well, not that into place, but that's for next episode, Season 1, Episode 2, High Five.